mic synchronizing stuff. Yeah.
Fix the camera.
Hey, look at that. It's recording. It's too hot in this room, and I have no other place to record this without feeling awkward. I am sweating profusely right now. It's a very hot room. Wait, you know what? Let me open this. Open up, please. I wanna breathe real air. Oh, but then that's just bad for the. I just have to endure this, shouldn't I? Hey! It's been a while on this channel, and I know some of you are upset to see this video, but hang on. If you're watching from my channel, Hearts of Iron 4 will come very soon. I'm just waiting for most of the mods I require to work, the Millennium Dawn mods and sub mods to work for Cornflakes 1.5.0. So yes, if you're not watching this and you're from school, hello! The first part of this video probably did not make sense to you, but it will very soon. If you're not familiar with my channel, welcome. I am, names down there, the Caramel Fruitcake. This channel is mostly dedicated to war stuff, mostly conflict and everything in that region. That's why Hearts of Iron 4 and mostly war games are featured on my channel, but mostly Hearts of Iron 4 because stuff. Yes. So what a coincidence, the topic assigned to me is the Trojan War. The Trojan War was a war that was waged against the Greeks after Paris of Troy took Helen from Menelaus, the king of Sparta. How did this all happen, you ask? Well, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't going to explain it, would I? The war started after a fight between the goddesses Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena. After Eris, the goddess of discord and strife, gave them a golden apple which can be called as the Apple of Discord. Incredible branding, I know. Whoever had the Apple of Discord was marked as the fairest. I realize how white my face is. I do not know how to do lighting. And how sweaty I am. Jesus! The Apple of Discord was a mark to be the fairest goddess, essentially. That's how I understood this. Zeus sent the three goddesses to Paris. Not France, Paris. Paris of Troy. Yes. Zeus sent the three goddesses to Paris, and Paris's were to judge them on who was the fairest out of the three. The winner would have the title of fairest, and they would also have the Apple of Discord. Which, to be honest, I don't know why would you want that. Each goddess had a bribe, essentially, to Paris if they chose them. The first goddess was Hera. Hera? Hera! Oh, film di por Hera, sa Irish now. Very racist. If Paris were to choose Hera as the fairest, Hera would then reward Paris by making him the king of Europe and Asia. If Paris, however, chose Athena, Athena would give him wisdom and skill in war, fighting essentially, because who doesn't want that? In Aphrodite, if Paris was to choose Aphrodite, Aphrodite would give Paris the most beautiful woman in the world. To be honest, if I was Paris, I know who I would be choosing. Hera, because who doesn't want to be the king of Europe and Asia? Like, that's higher than the Mongol Empire at its peak performance before it all collapsed to... I'm being a history nerd again. But as the person that he is, Paris did not choose Hera as I wanted him to. He decided to choose Aphrodite. Paris was then rewarded Helen. Helen at the time who was married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta. Menelaus and his brother Agamemnon, who was the king of Mycenae, then sieged against Troy for Helen. Agamemnon and Menelaus led an expedition against Troy for 10 years. Which isn't really that long. Well, then again, let's take it in context. That was the time where Romans used lead for water pipes. So, the war led to the death of many Greeks and Trojans, including Achilles, the great warrior that he is, who died by getting an arrow to the heel. Just imagine that for a second. Just get your heel, look at it, and I'm gonna look at mine. Look at it and go, think that there's an arrow in it. You're like, why is it? Not only Achilles, however, it also led to the death of Ajax. The war led on too long, and someone decided that this war needed to stop. It took him about 10 years to realize that this war needed to stop. It took way too many lives. If you are a casual Greek history fan and you've heard of the Trojan horse before, you probably already know where this is gonna go. But if you're not one of those people and you don't know what a Trojan horse is, well, let me explain. A Trojan horse is a large wooden horse that was disguised as a gift to the Trojans, essentially telling Troy that they won the war. But inside the horse were many soldiers. One of them was including the famous Odysseus. Odysseus? One of them was including the famous Odysseus. After Troy accepted, the Greeks in the horse waited until the soldiers were too drunk partying, thinking that they won the war. After they got really toasted, the Greeks came out and slaughtered everyone. They also burnt the place to the ground, which is... yeah. All of this, by the way, for Helen. Like I said, Paris, that king of Europe and Asia thing doesn't sound so bad anymore, huh? Also, don't mind my forehead, shut up. I know you're typing right now. Look at his forehead. Why didn't the Greeks siege Troy like any other city they would have sieged, essentially? Why did they had to take this approach of a Trojan horse? Troy is a very special case because at the time, Troy was known for their walls. It was a very... Troy was a place that was, Troy had huge walls, that's what I'm trying to say. A normal siege wouldn't exactly bode well because they have huge walls, and on those walls are watchtowers where they had skilled archers on them. It's not a good of idea attacking Troy, really. Historians and scholars now agree that the city of Troy is current-day Anatolia in Turkey. There were 9 total Troy rebuilds in total. 9 total Troy rebuilds in total. 9 total Troy rebuilds in total. Oh, gee. I made a new tongue twister. Try saying that fast. I can't even say anything normally without people asking, yo, can you repeat that? Because I didn't understand what you said. Yeah, I talk too fast. Someone help. I can't not talk fast. There were 9 Troy rebuilds in total. There was Troy 1 or Troy the 1st and until Troy the 9th. There were actually 3 to 4 Troy 7ths, which did not make sense to me. It is believed that Homer's story of the Trojan War, it's widely accepted by scholars anyway, that the Trojan War happened with Troy 7A. Yes, one of the first Troy 7, which, yes. This is because Troy 7 had evidence of slaughter and burning down, and it essentially applies to the Homeric poem that described Troy back then. Some, however, believe that it was Troy 2, but I don't know what the proof is. The Trojan War still, however, was a very mythical war to begin with, and it ended off still very mythical. Many classical Greeks believe that the Trojan War was based off of a historical event. However, many believe that Homer's poems were exaggerated to meet the demands of poetry at the time. How about you? Do you think it's a real story? Well, the part with the gods and goddesses are very hard to believe, kinda not convincing, but yeah, who knows? Might be. See you next time. And if you're a channel viewer, soon. I swear, I'm just gonna go back to my cage and never go out really to release that video y'all been waiting for. So y'all still here? Oh, subscribe. Y'all got games on your phone though. Took too long to record. That took too long. That video took too long to record. I cannot breathe. It's too hot. Hold on, I need to turn the sound. Come to me, air. Distort the audio. No.